live. I'm just going to change the title of this really quick. And then blast this out to social media as well. And again, we will be doing a quick show today. I've got to get out of here in less than an hour. So I will have the timer going, make sure that keep myself on schedule and make sure that I'm not late to where I need to be tonight, which is district championship soccer. We would appreciate it if you tune in for those games as well. We've got district championship soccer tonight. We've got some baseball tomorrow. We've got all kinds of stuff. We're getting into the nitty gritty of the spring sports postseason. So we would really appreciate your patronage in that way. And we will, let's see, get this up for the post on YouTube, or excuse me, on YouTube, on X. That way I can get that out of there. Okay. So, round one, again, not complete yet. It is still going on as we are speaking. I've got it up on the side just in case anything major happens, but we're really just going to take a look at what took place throughout the day. Leaderboard right now as it stands, we've got Cam Davis, Samamish's Cam Davis, by the way. That's where him and his wife reside. So a little connection to Washington, and more specifically the west side of Washington. So Cam Davis is out in front. He's 6 under right now on 17, and he just hit one. Looks like that one's, it's all right on the right side of the fairway. But he has been an absolute assassin on the greens. He is gaining over 6 strokes putting, which puts him at a clear number one. So he is setting the pace right now at 6 under par, and he is on 18 actually. So he will be wrapping up his round there on the green mile. Ryan Gerard, who would have thought Ryan Gerard? He gained over 5 strokes tee to green today. That puts him at second with a 5 under round this first round of the PGA Championship. Luke Donald, Ryan Fox, Alex Smalley, and Steven Yeager and Adam Scott all are at 4 under. All of them are in the house besides Adam Scott, who is currently still out on the course making his way around. And then Alex Noren, JT Poston, Rio Hisatsuni, Nico Echevarria, Matt Fitzpatrick, Robert McIntyre, Rasmus Højgaard, Keegan Bradley, Aaron Rye, Eric Van Rooyen, Tyrrell Hatton, and Rafa Campos round out your top 10. They are all 3 under, all tied for 8th right now. Scotty Scheffler is lurking just 4 shots back of the lead at 2 under par. Well, where do you start on a day like today? Frankly, I wasn't. I was a little surprised at the fact that we've got this this leaderboard. I thought we would see more of the better players rise up to the top, but we're seeing throughout the day, and even Scotty Scheffler, his round was not easy. He really had to grind out 2 under 69, eagled 15, doubling 16, and that set back. He started off on the back 9 today, but the fact that he still shot 69, I think that's a warning shot for the rest of the field, knowing that he lost strokes putting, 0.2 of a stroke putting, only gained half a stroke on approach shots, but he really made his money tee to green, where he was nearly gaining 4 shots on the field. But I guess that's where you start, is that where are the stars at? Biggest name at the top of the leaderboard, it might be Adam Scott, which is certainly not something I was anticipating coming into this, but you got to expect the unexpected, I suppose. Ludwig Oberg at 2 under, 14. He's through 14 holes right now. You've got Tom Kim at 2 under, some other big names. Colin Morikawa is through 15. He's at 2 under. Victor Hovland, he's got back-to-back bogeys. That's sent him down to 1 under. But, I mean, John Rahm is only at 1 under. Even Tommy Fleetwood, who was a pick that a lot of people liked this week, he's sitting at 1 under. Doesn't feel like anyone – feels like there's a lot of guys that are still lurking. I don't think anyone's out of it by any means who's under par. I'd have to say probably even is where you start to draw the line at. Bryson DeChambeau sits there right now. He's had a really up and down round, and the one thing that I was worried about when picking DeChambeau was his iron play. And he did not have good iron play at the Masters. That was his setback. That's the exact reason why he wasn't able to win the Masters. He hit his irons poorly. Seems like that is the case again today. He is losing over a stroke on approach shots and almost a stroke around the green. Tee to green, it's not there. But the upside with DeChambeau is he can get it back. So it's not like it's the end of the world for DeChambeau. But you've got the Green Mile coming up. You got to think he has to birdie 15 at maybe even eagle 15. 14's an opportunity to gain some ground back. But it's turning out to be I don't think a lot of people expected this to take place. Just the leaderboard that we've got right now, a lot of opportunity for some first time major champions. And I said yesterday, this was the last time we saw a first time major champion was last year at the PGA Championship. But I'm just surprised that we have no Rory McIlroy. Played terribly today. He is way down at the bottom of the leaderboard. I believe he shot 3. Yeah, he shot 3 over. Lost over 2 strokes putting. And just that super group did not look good. And I'm not the biggest fan of the super groups. I'd rather see them spread it out like they do at the Masters. I think they do that very well. Super groups just don't really do it for me. I'd be okay with seeing them spread out, playing with other players, or even if you just had them back to back to back, rather than all bunched up together. But I guess that's why I'm here, and there are people in suits who make those decisions. Yeah, just weird day. A lot of people talking about the course and should have been ball in hand, and I feel like Quail Hollow, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday, was already behind the 8 ball in what people feel about it. And a day like today certainly isn't going to make anybody feel better. It's okay if, I don't know, I don't really have an opinion on whether they should have had ball in hand or not, as JT just chips in on a 16. That gets him to 1 over. Also a disappointing round from Justin Thomas, but he's starting to find it here on the back 9. That's 3 birdies in a row. But the course, it's like we said, there's a lot of talk about it. I don't know if there was a scenario after today where Quail Hollow would have been looked at in a more positive light. If they play ball in hand, people would then say, oh, of course, they're playing ball in hand, and there would be a lot of negative discourse about that. They don't play it. Of course, no ball in hand, and you're going to get the players complaining. I thought Scotty Scheffler wasn't really complaining. I thought he did a good job articulating his thoughts and didn't come off as whining. He gave, I thought, a very, very well thought out answer, as Scheffler usually does. He's not one to spew off hot takes without having some sort of well, he doesn't really spew off hot takes to begin with, but he usually has a lot of thought put into what he has to say. But you're looking at perhaps an opportunity for us to see someone, maybe like an Adam Scott or a Keegan Bradley, add another one to their resume. Luke Donald, this is like 15 years too late, but I mean, who knows if he could add one had a major championship to his resume. Cam Davis and Ryan Gerard, two guys that Cam Davis, I think, should get a lot more respect than what he really does get. Um, he's a really good player. He is a solid player. And I think if he were to win a major, he's right now he's 68th in the OWGR. Take that for what it's worth. But I feel like Cam Davis is one of those guys where it'd almost be like Jimmy Walker when he won in 2016. It's not like a Ben Curtis in the Open Championship. What was that, 2003? It would be more of like that in the Jimmy Walker realm of things, or maybe even a Jason Duffner, where they're good players, not great, not top 10, top 20 players in the world, but solid players that should probably get a little more respect than they actually do. And I think that's my thoughts on Cam Davis. Just not talked about all that much. He did win the Rocket Mortgage last year, getting the victory in that tournament, but I don't think it would be a surprise if he ends up winning this week. There certainly are some others, like a Ryan Gerard. Ryan Fox is coming off of the win at the Opposite Field event last week in Myrtle Beach, so he's coming in with some momentum, but certainly would be a surprise. Alex Smalley got into the field due to Sahith Theegala withdrawing, so perhaps another John Daly-esque situation taking place. Luke Donald, it's interesting. You're looking at this leaderboard and going, who is the most surprising? I think it's Luke Donald. I mean, this is just a where the hell did he come from type of performance. I mean, he was just miscut central all over the place. Finished T68 at the PGA Championship last year. And the last time he finished in the top 10 at a major, 2013, where he tied for 8th when Justin Rose won the U.S. Open. Last top 5 was the 2012 Open Championship. He's one of these guys that has never won it, never won a major. Finished T3 at the 06 PGA Championship and T3 at the 05 Masters. I mean, I think that might be the most interesting story. Should Luke Donald somehow be victorious after this week, I think that is maybe the most intriguing out of anyone in the top 10. And there are some guys there like Matt Fitzpatrick. If he wins, he quickly has 2 major championships. Adam Scott, could he win? That would be an interesting win. Just taking a look at what Scott has done, not a whole lot this year. He really has not been playing well. He finished T3 at the DP World Tour Championship in November. Finished the year strong last year on the PGA Tour, 2nd at the Scottish Open, T10 at the Open Championship, a T18 at the FedEx St. Jude, and T2 at the BMW Championship. I'm not even going to worry about the Tour Championship and that stupid format that they have. But he top 10 at the Open last year, but besides that, it's been a lot of either miscuts or he's finishing outside of the top 20 for the most part at majors. And he did finish 3rd at the PGA Championship in 2018. He's had success. He's played the PGA Championship fairly well. But just the one major, and that's something that, again, is also a little surprising when you look at Adam Scott. Was talking about that with Justin Rose last week, or last major, I should say, when Rosie was at the top, and I see them in the same light as guys that are surprising at not having more success in majors, where it just feels like they're built for it. And of course, Scott had a rough go at the Open Championship when he bogeyed 4 in a row, and I believe Ernie Els ended up winning that Open Championship. But just a lot of interesting names at the top of the leaderboard. Keegan Bradley would quickly have 2 PGA championships should he win This is a great opportunity for a guy like Tyrrell Hatton to cement his career. I said it yesterday in our preview show. Said Tyrrell Hatton might be the best player that doesn't have a major to his resume. Perfect opportunity for the Mad Hatter to get a victory, and I think that would really change the way how people look at him. Um, he's a he's a he's a really good player. I mean, there's no way around it. He's 20th in the official world golf rankings, 12th in the data golf rankings, which I think data golf does a better job in more accurately looking at the rankings. Three-time Ryder Cupper. I believe he's in the mix again this year for Ryder Cup contention. I don't think there's a world where Tyrrell Hatton isn't playing in the Ryder Cup besides injury. He's fourth right now in European Ryder Cup rankings. Another guy that had a good year in the offseason, won a couple of times on the DP World Tour, has won a few times on Live as well, or just the one time on Live also. But this is I think his time to really try and go out there and snatch it. And I think in his spot, he's 3 under right now. Should he stay at 3 under, this is an opportunity for him to go out and get it. And there's not a lot of guys that I think would benefit more than him right now in that top portion of the leaderboard. Rasmus Højgaard's been playing some really good golf. I think Robert McIntyre would be a shock if he ends up winning. Same thing. I mean, most of these guys that are in the top 10, it's a pretty amusing top 10 when you look at it. Ludwig Oberg, I think, is in a good spot as well. He's 2 under right now through 14 holes. But yeah, this is an interesting leaderboard. This is one that I think the bottom half of the leaderboard is more interesting than the top half. Phil 8 over, took a triple on 7, shot 79. He was on 80 watch. Nick Dunlap, I feel so bad for him. So much talent there, but he shot 78 today. A lot of Michael Block content. He just made double on 16. He's 5 over right now. But let's talk about some actual guys. Brooks Koepka, man, doubled 1, bogey 2, bogey 3, shot 75 today, and he's 2 years removed from winning the PGA, and it's surprising. It looked like he was going to be a problem again, and has not really done anything since then, especially in the majors. He really hasn't been there since his win at the PGA 2 years ago. T17 at the US Open, and then it gets ugly. T64 at the Open, T45 at the 2024 Masters, T26 at both the US Open and PGA Championships, T43 at the Open, and missed the cut at this year's Masters. It's just what happened to Koepka, and he's a guy that can find lightning in a bottle at any given week. So I'm guessing this year is going to be a year that maybe rekindles that fire underneath him, especially with how poor that major resume is and how much he values the majors. But it's just surprising to see him there. Let's see talked a little bit about Rory, 3 over. Just didn't look comfortable, and that was something I worried about with Rory, with the winning the career Grand Slam and winning the Masters a month ago. Is yes, he's playing well, but, and it's why I didn't pick him, I just didn't know what I would get out of Rory. It's a course that should be perfect for him, but I just didn't know how would he respond, and he has not played well so far, sitting at 3 over. Let's go here. Joaquin Niemann and Patrick Cantlay. I want to talk about both of them because I see them both as the same. Patrick Cantlay is a guy that probably should have a major, and was thinking perhaps this could be the week. Normal tour stop, for whatever reason, just hasn't been able to push himself across the finish line at a major. And Cantlay had that great showing last year at the U.S. Open where he was really in the mix. But you look at his PGA champion or his major resume. I mean, yeah, he T3'd at the 2019 PGA Championship, T3 last year at the U.S. Open, but that's it. He doesn't have another top 5 in a major. And I mean, it's a better resume than what Joaquin Niemann has. I think Niemann would kill to have a top 10 in a major right now. But this is, I said it the other day, and I'll make the point with Cantlay tied in it as well. You got to start showing up in majors more consistently. Now, at least Cantlay's put himself there. Niemann, again, he might not make the cut. There is a good chance he doesn't make the cut. And I mean, he's behind some of these club pros. I mean, he's even with John Catlin, Kevin Yu, and some of these other guys that. I mean, how are you not beating them if you're this top 10 player in the world? And the same thing for Patrick Cantlay. It's like, it's why I don't see Cantlay as the best player without a major right now. It's why I see Tyrrell Hatton, especially the way how he's been performing as of late. But man, just a odd leaderboard here through day one. Looks like Cam Davis just got in the house with a bogey, so him and Ryan Gerard probably are going to be the co-leaders, barring some pretty miraculous stuff from anyone out there. I don't really see anyone challenging him, either of those guys there. So yeah, we're looking at that. Toughest holes of the day. 16 played the toughest. The par 4, just 3 birdies, 38 bogeys, 9 doubles or worse. Played 4/10 of a stroke over par. And then you had 9 and 17 each were second at plus 0.38 over par. 17 only 8 birdies on the day. 9 only had 5 birdies on the day. So those are some of the hardest holes on the golf course. The Green Mile is flexing its muscles, and it's like I said yesterday, I think there's going to be someone who ejects themselves from the championship late on Sunday because of that. 15 easiest hole, playing nearly 4.4 strokes under par. 5 eagles or better, 57 birdies on the day, just 6 bogeys and 3 doubles or worse. And then on 14, that is the second easiest hole, playing a tad over 3/10 of a stroke under par. 4 eagles, 57 birdies, just 16 bogeys and 2 doubles. Cut line as of right now, it's early, so take this with a grain of salt. But you've got 1 over. Data Golf has it at 29.6% probability. That's the cut. 2 over is 41.2%, and 3 over is 18.7%. But these guys, I think, perhaps tomorrow there's room for opportunity. If they're only saying it's 2 over, I'm guessing Data Golf is assuming there should be some movement tomorrow. Afternoon wave was a little bit harder today. 1.86 strokes over par as opposed to 1.59 strokes over par in the morning wave. Front 9 played harder than the back. Front 9 nearly a stroke over par. Back 9 about 3/4 of a stroke over, with the afternoon wave at both 0.93 over par on both the front and the back. So a little bit of an advantage for the morning wave on the back 9 as opposed to the afternoon. Okay, any final thoughts here as I try and speed our way through this recap show for round 1? It's been a long week. That should just about do it. We'll see how do these guys respond tomorrow. That's going to be Probably the question for that I have going into tomorrow. How does a guy like Cam Davis and Ryan Gerard feel sleeping on the lead? Luke Donald, let's start with him. How does he bounce back after this great day? Can he keep this thing going, or does he return to the form that he's been in for the last few years? A guy like Ryan Fox, Alex Smalley, Steven Yeager haven't been in this spot. How do you handle that pressure in that spotlight? And maybe it feels like there isn't as much pressure this year at the PGA. So perhaps that could help out one of these guys. I mean, there was no one watching Cam Davis on the back nine. I mean, he's the leader, and it looked like a COVID tournament. There's no one watching the poor guy. I don't understand. I don't know what's going on out there with fans just outright not watching the. He was the solo leader for a good chunk of the back nine, and for some reason, no one's watching him. But whatever. Hats off to the people that did. You got a front row seat at watching the first round leader plot his way around the golf course. But that'll be the question for tomorrow. Who steps up? Who takes a step back? And we'll see who is able to capitalize in being in this position. Again, I'm looking at, I think even par is still okay. You'll need to really make your way around the golf course, but I don't think that is necessarily out of it. Like a guy like David Pooj, even JJ Spawn, who's played good golf this week. I don't know if those guys have enough pop in the bat to come back from that deep, but if it stays around 10 or 11 under, then they're certainly in it. If it gets to, the line was 13.5 over par, or 13.5 under par for going into the championship, what the over-under would be. If it gets to anywhere like that, then I think everyone from 2 under and better is safe, or at least in it. I think the 1-unders would have to really do something miraculous. Only like a John Rahm, I think, would have a realistic chance, and Victor Hovland too, in coming back from that. But that's going to do it for our recap show. Again, tomorrow, no recap show. I will be out doing baseball up in Bellevue. Saturday, we'll have a lot more thorough of a recap show. And then Sunday, very thorough, recapping the final round and the championship. And we'll see who will hold the Wanamaker Trophy in just a short while. This time, possibly on Sunday, maybe a little bit later. We'll see. But thanks again for watching. Comment down below what your observations or thoughts were on the PGA Championship Round 1, and I will see you Saturday for a Round 3 recap.